got what you want, then I'm going to just do it once. The blues will, same thing. If you do it good, if you catch it all, and we're happy, then let's just keep it.
So you're gonna do the intro, you're gonna introduce, and then you're gonna go into the blues song.
Yeah, and then I'll edit it later. It'll end up in the back end. So, and then when we get to the talking, I'm going to introduce Salem Songwriter Sessions again.
Okay.
And so I have a couple choices when I'm editing.
Does Jim start out soloing on the blues, or is that?
And then we'll sing.
All right, hello, this is Tom Phillips with Salem Songwriter Sessions. Tonight, we're going to recap the last 5 episodes. And the folks with me tonight who are normally with me, which is Jim Deno, who plays guitar, and Aaron Panko, who plays bass.
Thanks for having us here, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having you here. And every time we have an episode, other than you'd missed one, and we'll talk about that later. But, you know, the first episode was Bob Manning and the Honky Tonk the Honky Tonk Roadshow, and Bob is a personal friend of yours, right, Jim?
That's right, and I'm a member of the Honky Tonk Roadshow. I've actually played with Bob off and on for close to 20 years.
Wow.
So.
Wow,
Yeah.
and he's kind of a honky tonk historian. You know, that was one of the blessings that we had because really the first episode was planned to be another guest. And I probably would have had to do a lot more talking, but I think the thing that was good with Bob was that he came in ready to go. We had a cancellation. Yeah. He came in. He was going to be the second, and he became the first, and just took off. It was great to work with.
Well, Bob's a great guy. He's a great talker. His wife, Kimberly, calls him Chief Talks a Lot. So one of the things that he does as part of the show is he tells a lot of stories. And he knows the whole history of honky-tonk music, where it came from, and he has a couple of definitions of honky-tonk music. One is he calls honky-tonk is to country what blues is to rock and roll. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the roots music of what we now know as country music. And then his own personal definition, which is honky-tonk music is that kind of music that makes you feel fortunate that you feel that bad.
Well, we chose one of his songs as the one that we enjoyed doing the best. You know, actually they were all great, but the one that we chose was "The Devil Makes No Change." I want to say about this song because I think there was criticism about Jim on this song. Was there criticism about you kind of being a difficult, or was it just that was just last night?
That was you. No, this song here. It took me about 3 years to get this one on paper and in the can.
Really?
I have been for a number of years wanting to write a song as a tribute to my 2 musical heroes as far as blues goes, and one's Robert Johnson and the other's Jimmy Rogers. Right. And that was without them, honky tonk music never would have been born. Because what honky tonk really is it was that blues influence, those chord progressions, that whining and crying in the voice, that made its way with the influence of mountain music to the churches, you know, and then we had guys like Jimmy Rogers and Hank Sr. and Hank Snow and Ernest Tubb and all the greats that took that blues music and put steel guitars and fiddles to it and turned it into honky tonk. So I was trying to write this tribute, and everything I came up with was so contrived. You know, how do you write something about those 2 legends like that? So we were doing a show in Bakersfield, California, and
The streets of Bakers.
yeah, and we were staying at this place called the Vagabond Inn, and it was a hole. Now
It was the streets of Oildale.
yeah, the streets of Oildale is where it actually was. And I thought, what a great place to write a blues song.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up there on the little veranda, and there's these big oil derricks out in the yard of the hotel. And I started writing this thing down, and I got bits and pieces of it. And then later, we were doing another show. I forgot where that was at, but I called Jim into the hotel room, and I said, "Man, I got this song. I think I've got it." And I got the lyrics, and I needed a hook. And you're about to hear the Monster Blues hook
All right.
that made this song what it is. So, little thing called "Devil Makes No Change."
All right. Give it to us, Jim.
From the Mississippi Delta, the hot West Texas plain, came a new style of picking with a certain kind of twang. He was born at the crossroads where the devil makes no change. He was a young, hungry black man with an old six-string guitar, and he knew he wanted something that he hadn't found so far. He made a deal with the devil, became a bright white shining star. From the Mississippi Delta, the hot West Texas plain, new style of picking, special kind of twang. He was born at the crossroads where the devil makes no change. Play that thing, bro. Well, he came from the Texas Dust Bowl, singing Brakeman was his name. He had haunted hollow eyes, say his misery was all the blame. Made his mark on the music, his life ended in pain and shame. From the Mississippi Delta, the hot West Texas plain, came a new way of hurt with a certain kind of twang. Make a deal with the devil, the end's always the same. He was born at the crossroads where the devil makes no change.
How sweet it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's not gonna matter now. Oh, there we go. Anita, do you have your headphones on? Okay. On Tom's guitar, go ahead. He's gonna, I don't know, climb up the...
Episode 2 was our guest was Matthew Price. And Matthew impressed me as a real talent when it came to songwriting.
Yeah, he was really, really good. We did 5 or 6 tunes of his, and everyone was a winner and a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, they just stick in your head. Even today, I still sing some of his songs. You know, they just pop into my head and just take off. You know, I remember when we got together, he came in, he had his 2 kids, toddler-size boys, and then his wife also came in, which was very, very pregnant, and, you know, we're not even sure at that time if she was overdue or what, but we almost had to cancel the show from the simple fact that she might have had a baby before that.
Right.
So.
You know, actually, a few weeks after the show, we went to see them at McMiniman's Boone's Treasury, and she still had not had her baby at that time, and he had to warn the audience that if I get a phone call, I'm out of here.
Yes, that's right. Intermission, I'll see you in a week.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, the song that we chose by Matthew is probably, to me, a signature song of his.
Freedom Machine.
Yeah, and this was the one that talked about his you know, it's a bicycle, which is kind of his symbol, I guess, of what he does. But it's also, you know, it's kind of haunting in the sense that it, you know, just kind of talks about, you know, going into the world on your own and having certain things in your life that take you back to the place where you were secure and comfortable.
It's a great song, and it's the kind of thing that a songwriter wants to do, which is to write about something that's real and personal to them, but it connects with people on kind of a universal type level.
Yeah.
I think that song does that.
Yeah, and that's Matthew Price and Freedom Machine.
You know, what's the songwriting process like for you?
Well, for me, I kind of focus on words, or that's where I usually start from. So I have a notebook, or rather several shoe boxes full of notebooks, and I try to just write down ideas. If I get something, I'll try to write down an idea or set aside a certain part of each day where I can actually sit down and do a bit of writing. Because sometimes there's not much going on, whether if it's early in the morning or... And so if I can look through my book and pull out, oh, here's an idea that I had, then I can maybe take that and start to expand upon it. And I'll usually get kind of a little ways through a song on getting some lyrics down before I even get too picky about getting out a guitar or anything.
Oh, great.
So I usually try to get a melody, record it in my phone or whatever,
Nice.
and before I even get out an instrument.
Well, great. What song do you want to do next?
Well, we could do Freedom Machine.
Freedom Machine.
I held my handlebars as my dad hit the sea, and I pedaled my Huffy down a dead-end street, past those training wheels and laying on the ground. Just my dad and me, but when I turned around, he was gone. I was alone. That rite of passage I must face on my own. Though I fell down, the cuts didn't stay. I was riding on my freedom machine, riding on my freedom machine. Now I'm talking on my cell phone in this traffic jam, and I've been trying to be everywhere but forget where I am. And these years have just gone by so fast. I've traded present for future now. I long for the past, but that's gone. Oh, what have I done? Didn't care about the day till I saw the setting sun. Now I miss the feeling dusting off spider web, just like the wind. I'm gone, oh, and I'm all alone. I feel like a kid even though that I've grown. And all of life's worries, they don't mean a thing when I'm riding on my freedom machine, riding on my freedom machine.